Welcome to the Seattle Sports Union podcast. This is Matt, the delightful duck. Today he's delightful. Coming to you live here with Brian Soulman Solack, and we've got a special guest. We've got Dean Janikowski, Placekicker for the Washington State University Cougars. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
By the way, Matt's not delightful, and he is a duck, so feel free.
I was gonna say with the flag in the back.
There's been some debate as far as whether or not I'm delightful. I think our co-host Abraham likes to call me that damn dirty duck, but I'm going for a rebrand. Let me put it that way. But anyway, Brian, you wanna kick us off with some
absolutely
some our interrogation tonight?
Where'd you grow up, Dean? Where are you from?
I'm from Fallbrook, California, so kind of small town, right, SoCal, California, right around there.
Okay. Did you grow up practicing Catholic? Is that what I read?
Yeah, Catholic my whole life. I've gone through all the sacraments, everything. My whole family, all of us, we're all Catholic. I went to a Catholic school my whole life, so based around that.
Awesome. Are you still practicing Catholicism?
Yeah, still practicing. Yeah, I actually just got back from daily mass, so yeah, I'm going through Lent. Gave up sugar, gave up TV, and gave up a bunch of stuff for these 40 days.
Wow, good for you. Now I feel guilty. Why I say that is because I'm a Catholic too. I grew up in a Catholic school, went to Catholic high school, and I didn't give up much this year like I should have, but now I'm gonna have to reflect and see what else I can do.
I know it's hard. It's not easy. Every year I try to push myself a little bit more, and it doesn't help all my siblings. They're on my back too, trying to get me to give up more stuff too. So it's funny.
How many siblings you got?
I got a brother and sister. Sister plays soccer at Humboldt, and my brother's a senior in high school. He goes to Cathedral Catholic down in Del Mar, and yeah, he's actually about to come up here and play defensive end.
I think I saw that. Congratulations. That'll be fun to play with him, won't it?
Oh yeah, I'm so excited.
Can you joke around and I mean it's not haze, but can you joke around and and make him carry a backpack or what like baseball players do to the rookies? Or
I know back in the day, my freshman year, we used to do not like hazing in a bad way, but they used to have like linemen. They used to do haircuts. So like the first day of school, they had to do haircuts. We would have guys, they'd cut the top of their head and pull their hairline back and do a bunch of designs. You couldn't wear a hat or anything. You had to show up to school. I'm trying to keep that tradition a little bit, but yeah, there's still a little bit of that.
Right on.
So you're gonna cut his hair, is what you're saying?
Yeah, he's gonna get a good haircut.
Why Wazoo? What brought you to Wazoo?
Well, Fallbrook, California is a little bit like Wazoo, just like farming based and kind of small town. I really liked that a lot, especially the community, because Fallbrook's pretty small. We're still in SoCal and like close to big cities, but it reminds me a lot of home. Like I grew up raising animals, whether it was 4-H, I did steers, pigs, all that. So like seeing all the agriculture and stuff like that really excites me. And really when I came here too, was just like seeing how close everyone was. Like down in California, it's not very popular to see people with like their stickers of the schools they went to. Like you don't see SDSU stickers everywhere. You don't see UCLA stickers as much as like Pullman. I remember just flying here and I wore a WSU shirt and people were like, "Go Cougs, go Cougs, why are you up here?" And it was so cool. It was so nice. So it really got me excited. I'm like, man, there's got to be something special up here.
Well, awesome. Yeah, from the outsider perspective, I always am constantly amazed at the amount of Wazoo fans there are nationwide. I mean, you guys go get the game day streak with the flag in the background, and there's Cougs everywhere. I see them absolutely everywhere. It's something I wish Oregon had a little more of, but
yeah, right.
Tell me in your words, what does it mean to be a Coug?
I think community stands out the most. I think to be a Coug, you just help everyone, like the saying. I think just helping out everyone. Like you're so close, like everyone's your friend. You know everyone, and that's kind of my goal this year when I set out my yearly goals was to grow in the community in Pullman and meet more people and kind of just keep growing that connection. So one day I can come back here and keep helping, supporting the community and stuff like that. So I think community for sure. And just keep coming back and keep giving.
Well said. Well said. I graduated 96 from Wazoo, and it took me, what was it, over 20 plus years to go back to Pullman. And because I mean, I got married, my wife and I lived there 1 year. She couldn't stand it, but I can't hold that against her because she's put up with me for almost 29 years. And
Yeah.
But now we've gone back for the last few years, and we just love it there. I mean, you just get that chill, and you're just driving across Highway 26, but you pull into Pullman, and it's like, oh my gosh, where have you been all my life? I really
I know, right? And not much changes. It's all pretty, I'm sure it's pretty similar to what it was like for you. I mean, there's some new buildings, but I feel like everything kind of stays the same and same culture.
most definitely.
He really likes to get upset at me because I like to he'll post pictures whenever he goes back to Pullman of like the cornfields or the wheat fields where everyone's like cut out the big logo or whatever, and
Yeah.
and I like to make the joke that, man, somebody vandalized that field. Why aren't you upset?
That's costly against all that wheat they just cut out.
That's just mean. Come on.
Anyways, you when did you start kicking? Was it in high school? I mean, how'd you become a kicker?
Yeah, so I played soccer my whole life, and I really thought that was what I was going to do in college, and it really took all the way till my sophomore year. So freshman year, I started playing football. I was tight end, linebacker, and then kicker, and it took all the way until my sophomore year. I was going to go play soccer, and I was trying out for the team. My freshman year, so our school has a freshman, JV, and a varsity team, and I made JV my freshman year. So I was like, okay, I was going to tryouts my sophomore year. I'm like, I'm for sure going to make JV, really pushing for varsity. I didn't make any of them. I got cut. That was the first time I ever got cut. Went up to the stands. I told my dad, this ain't for me anymore. Cause I was kind of getting bored of it. I was getting a little tired. I'm like, I'm gonna stick to kicking. Like, we're gonna make kicking a thing. We're gonna really just focus on that and really like use that whole time that I would be playing soccer and just really stick to kicking and see how far I can take it. So from there I did that, and my junior year, my sophomore year, then my junior year and senior years, the rest of the years I was just a kicker and punter. I'd go in for linebacker every so often, because I was that big. So I'd go in for a few plays like that, but yeah, I really just stuck to kicking since then.
What is the what's the difference as far as maybe a learning curve, or I guess, how do I want to put this? Yeah, just what is the fundamental difference between punting and kicking? I mean, is there a real adjustment for you to make to go to punting?
Yeah, so the way your leg swings is the hardest for me. So for punting, it's very linear, so it's straight up and down. You're kicking straight up, versus kicking, you're kind of swinging your leg like a golf swing. So for me, when I go from kicking to punting, my legs so used, because I'm mainly a kicker. I can punt as well, but my swing's like a golf swing. So when I try to hit a punt, I kind of chop at it. So it kind of plays with me. And I think it's just a lot harder to punt with dropping the ball, playing the wind, because when you drop that ball, if it's windy, it turns that ball. I think punting is a lot harder, but I would say those two are the biggest for me.
All right.
Okay.
And I hadn't considered the kicking motion like a golf swing. That's
Yeah,
interesting. It makes sense now that I think about it, but it's something I've never really considered before.
Yeah, you twist your hips versus just using your hip flexor.
Okay.
Biggest kick of your sorry to interrupt, Matt,
but go ahead.
Biggest kick of your career.
UW game for sure. We lined up this last game. Ooh, we were kicking pregame, and I was telling coach everywhere I can kick. I was like, all right, we're good 55 yards each side. Well, sure enough, game starts, and Pullman gets that crazy wind. It was late at night, but it got that crazy wind, and Coach Dickert sent me out fully confident I was going to make it, and I'm running out there, and I'm like, man, first kick of the game, no one scored yet. There's about a 10-mile-per-hour wind in my face, and I was like, ooh, I got to make this. I was like, I gotta start the game out right. So lined up, kicked it, flew up in the air. It was going to be like 10 yards through the uprights. I kicked it that well. But the last 5 yards, it stuck in the wind and just slowly dropped, hit the crossbar, and rolled in.
Wow.
It was crazy.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I imagine any kick against UW would be a big one in your mind, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, for sure. Every year. I mean, my first year I kicked when we played UW, I had 5 field goals. tied the record with most field goals, and then scored more points than UW. Technically, they scored 13 points. I scored 16.
Your foot
That's awesome.
outscored the entire team. I love that.
We got to get that clip on replay, Matt. That's awesome.
Yeah, anytime Washington loses, I'm on board.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys got some beef with Washington. I'm still upset about our loss this last year, losing in the last 2 minutes. That was brutal.
That was
hard to
roller
watch.
coaster. Let's put it that way.
Yeah,
It was a roller coaster.
crazy.
So I wanted to ask you about your punter buddy, Nick Haber. He's your holder and he's the punter on the team, right? And I think I saw also that he's your housemate as well.
Yeah. So I didn't know Nick. So Nick came in. Crazy story with how Nick got here. I didn't even know, because to be honest, I didn't even know we were getting an Australian punter. I had a little bit of an idea, but I didn't know when he was getting in. He gets in. Well, this was during COVID and the flights were so jacked up. He traveled for 40 hours.
Ooh.
It's a how long is it? I think it's a 14-hour flight.
Yeah.
I might be wrong, but right around
direct.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so it was 40 hours. He gets here, finally gets in. He ends up getting into his apartment. Well, all he could bring was a suitcase, a checked bag. And so it was during COVID. So the restaurants weren't open. We weren't lifting. He was in quarantine. He didn't have food for like 14 days. Like people would bring him some food, but at one point, and then his phone wasn't working. So like living with that was crazy, like him dealing with that. And then I ended up meeting him, and we became really close. We were really similar with everything we like. We like fishing. We like doing all these things. We ended up getting a house together. One of our buddies, our parents, they bought the house. And we're like, okay, stay here. We stayed there. Rent was relatively cheap. I would say the average price. And last second, they throw us this curveball. We're throwing the rent up $200 a month, like even more. Wow. It was way overpriced. I was like, I can't do this. Nick definitely can't do this. Like he's living off a paycheck to paycheck with getting paid for football, because that's the only way you can make money. So now we're scrambling for houses because we had like a month's notice. And we're like, I don't know what we're going to do. We find a house with a football guy. He only has one room. The room's really small. I'm like, well, Nick, I found a place, but I think we gotta live in the same room. He's like, all right, we'll do it. And we were both single at the time, so like we didn't care. And whatever, we moved in, and yeah, it was literally like stepbrothers. Beds were bed to bed. We could honestly hold hands if we wanted to. We were that close, and it was crazy. We went 8 months through that, and then we ended up finding a better house and a room for ourselves. But it was crazy. That was for sure like stepbrothers hanging out, going through the season every single day in the same room.
Not much room for activities.
No, not at all. Shared the same bathroom, shared everything. So it was cheap though. It was like $200 a month.
That's not bad.
So so I wanted to touch on how important is it to have a good working relationship with your holder. I mean, how important is that? Is that crucial?
Yeah, it's huge. Like when he got here, I threw him straight into like holding. He's never held before, so it was like, listen, Nick, this is what you got to do in this situation, because they got to know a lot more than people would think. He's watching the clock when we go out for PATs or field goals. Like there'll be a lot of times where we're left with like 8 seconds because it was the last decision, just to hit a field goal. And so he's got to know a lot of things, but it's so important. And just having that confidence, because like last year I would step out every single game and not even worry. If you're ever worrying about your holder, your snapper, you're not going to have a good game, or you're not going to have a good season. You have to have 100% trust in that guy.
Interesting. I want to know about, your spring practice you're obviously getting into right now, and what's it like for kickers and punters for practicing? I mean, I know every different position. I mean, but are you able to go there and then participate in drills, or do you have to stay on the sidelines? I've always been curious.
Yeah, we still get all our kicks in. Luckily, we have 3 fields, technically our practice fields or whatever, and then our game field. While everyone's using the practice fields, we'll go on the actual game field and we'll kick there, and we'll get our drills in there. But most of the time we'll get most of our stuff done within like half the practice, and then we kind of just sit and wait because we can't be kicking the whole 3 hours, so we have to kind of just manage that time, because in between practices we'll have different times to either hit team field goals or team punts, and those are really the things we have to be ready for the most. Otherwise we're not doing a whole lot, just drill work and just kind of staying ready, because you can't kick for 3 hours straight, so it's just staying ready and just. But spring practice is pretty light. It's like a practice every single other day. I think there's 15 practices within like a 2-month period.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
not bad.
No, not at all.
So I have to ask, what is a digital technology and culture degree? I'm just curious. I've never heard of it before.
Yes, I think Pullman's one of the only. There might be a few other schools that have it, but I kind of consider it like a business degree, in the sense of like the digital world, whether it's like design or like figuring out how social media works or like marketing. Because originally I was a business degree and I had a minor in communications, and I decided to go design way. I really like editing. I like doing like videos, pictures, and all the social media stuff I love. So I ended up going that route, and I had a blast with it. There was only one other football player that did it, and his name's Dallas Hobbs, and he kind of showed me the ropes with it all, and I loved it. Ended up graduating in 3 years, and now I'm on my master's for business management.
Okay.
Oh, good for
Well,
you.
congratulations.
Yeah,
thank you.
congratulations indeed. So then in the fall, you're going to be redshirt junior. Do you think this is going to be your last season, or you can play it by ear? I mean,
I'll do 2 more years. I got 2 more
Okay.
years. I'll finish off my master's, and I think it'll be plenty, especially just to take that extra year to play with my brother. I'm so excited about that.
I forgot about that. That'll be so
Yeah, that should
fun.
be fun.
Yeah, take all the time I need. It's nice having that buffer room, because it'll be 6 years I'm here, which is crazy, but why not take that opportunity, especially to get my master's paid for and finish all that.
Well,
If the NFL comes calling, you see yourself as the next Jason Hanson, played 20 years in the NFL.
That'd be awesome. Yeah, Jason's a great guy. I met Jason. He's really cool. He had a crazy career at WSU. Super impressive.
yeah. Yeah.
Yes,
Some of us may have hated him.
Man.
I'm not saying who.
Okay.
Yeah, before we move too far back to reality, I wanted to ask a question. Exactly how much should we emphasize that you're not related to a certain ex-NFL kicker?
I think maybe to the max, because every day I get a DM asking if I'm related.
Oh wow.
Nothing.
People are really after that. Okay.
Yeah, right. Well, like when we played Wisconsin, I think that was like 3 or 4 million views, and we had a field goal. We won by a field goal, and it was so funny just like seeing the tweets of just Janikowski, like, no way this guy's not related. Like, there's no way, I'm not buying it. And then everyone's like, no, no, no. They actually had to add to my profile. They did this the last year because there were so many like questions about it, saying that Dean's not related, like specifically.
That's great. Okay, so for our viewers, he is absolutely
Not
not
related.
related. Just to be clear, we're good. Okay, wanted to dial that in, on what
Yeah,
level.
right.
All right.
One
Go
more
ahead.
question about Pullman. I got to ask, have you been to the Coug?
Oh yeah. Did you see the Barstool thing? They're in the semifinals right now for best bar town in America.
Really?
I didn't know we made the semis. So we are in the semis. Okay.
Yeah, we just made it. We beat Minneapolis. I was shocked.
That's awesome. Do they still have the cookie place? Matt loves a cookie place.
I was just gonna ask. I'm fascinated by the cookie.
Yeah,
Was it midnight
insomnia
cookie?
cookies.
They'll deliver a cookie and milk to your dorm room or something like that till like 2
Yeah.
a.m.
Yeah, 3 a.m.
3 a.m. Have you
I
had
use
that?
them a lot, so I know
do?
exactly.
Wonderful. I'm fascinated by that business model. We went
Crazy.
to the Coug. He showed me around town, and I was just fascinated by that business model. I want one here in Everett where I live.
Yeah, that would be nice. They do pretty well.
All right, so we want to move on to what is really the meat and potatoes, I guess, of the podcast. Wanted to hear a bit about this foundation that your family set up and that you're involved with, and wanted to hear about your mom and what she stood for.
Yeah. So my mom passed away about a year and a half ago from cancer. She's been fighting it for around 11 years, and ultimately it spread like crazy last second after it was all gone, and ended up taking her life. And after that, our whole family kind of reflected on it, and we ended up coming up with the Heather Janikowski Foundation, and it's a 501c3, and it's a foundation for raising money for kids with cancer and kind of helping out the whole community. And it really is for like, because my mom was a teacher, athletic trainer, she did a lot of things and reached out to a lot of different communities. So it's for helping kids with cancer, but also helping out those communities like teachers and stuff like that. We really want to reach out to a lot of people. We've done a lot of events in the past. We've done 5Ks. 5Ks are kind of our thing. We have a 5K coming up June 24th. But yeah, we really took that upon us, and we really got excited about the opportunity and just kind of giving back, because I know cancer treatments can be really expensive. So helping out as much people as we can.
Is the 5K locally in Pullman or?
No, so the 5K is in California.
Okay.
So they do it down there, and I've been doing some things up here. Like in the season, I did a pledge it to where you could donate a certain amount of money per point I made, and I end up raising $17,000. And that's for a kid with cancer, and it kind of made a fun way to like watch field goals and like raise money that way.
Are you going to continue that program this year?
Yeah, I'm going to keep doing that, honestly, until my career as a kicker is over with. I think I'm throughout the NFL. It really was pretty easy on my end to do. Pledge It kind of does everything that for me, and it was really cool to like see people get excited. People were like getting nervous for me kicking, just like watching that, being like, oh my gosh, like this is how much money he's raising. And it was kind of a fun game. It added more pressure, but a good pressure. I'd line up being like, I want to score points for my team, but I also want to make money for these kids with cancer.
What kind of a relationship did you have with your mother?
I was really close to her. She did everything for me. I wouldn't be the man I am now without her. She'd be the loudest one at those games. She went to almost every single home game, and she was always there for me. She was the one who motivated me. She would be super sick. She fought it for 11 years, but you would never be able to tell. Like as a young kid, I could never tell that she was struggling with it. To be honest, I didn't know how serious it was. It got so serious to where it was terminal. Like she only had a few weeks to live. I had no idea. She was going for runs. She was doing all these things. And now that I'm older and I can look back at it, I'm like, wow, this is so amazing. Like I'm sick. I was sick a few days ago, and I was like throwing a fit and pouting. And I'm like, this lady did all this for the last 11 years, and I'm complaining about little cold. I'm like, this lady has been through everything, and she motivates me so much to keep going. And I always write down her name on my hand and stuff like that to motivate me and just remind me, because she really has just pushed herself, and it's just so motivating for me.
Oh, you're very blessed, man. That's awesome.
So I'm a little more curious about why did you specifically? I mean, what led to the family decision to start a foundation exactly? I mean, why what was your thought process, and how did you arrive at that way to remember her by?
Yeah, we just really wanted to keep her name alive and keep helping out those communities, because my mom would help out everyone else out. She would be dealing with cancer, and she'd help out her other friends that were dealing with it worse. And just like having her name around still is just so great, because she helped out a lot of people, and she was always willing to help those who were really struggling with it, because she dealt with a lot of friends that also passed away from breast cancer and different things of cancer. So really just being able to keep her name alive is kind of our goal. And just it's just been a blast to meet so many new people and just like know that we're doing a great thing, and just it's been a blast.
Was she able to see you play in Pullman as well?
Yeah, so she saw my first season I played here, and then before she passed, she also heard that I got on scholarship. So just being able to tell her those things was like
good,
amazing. She smiled and everything. Like it was great. It was really cool to like, I don't know. I'm just glad she was able to watch me finally play.
Very nice. Tell us about the event you got coming up next month in Pullman.
Yeah, so April 21st, I'm having a bowling tournament at Zeppos, and We're having people rent out lanes as sponsors. You're going to have your banner up, and then we're also going to have a silent auction. It's the day right before the spring game. So we're going to try to get as much people as we can and raise as much money. There's no limit, and we're going to start making this thing an annual thing. And we're working with people like Ruben Mays, and we're getting a bunch of cool silent auction items to bid on, like from Pete Carroll and things like that. So we're really excited about this event and keep making it a thing, because I want to get close to this community, and I also want to raise this money for people who need it in this community. So it's going to be money raised for kids with cancer in Pullman or Spokane area. I want to keep it local, and I want to help out those around here.
I have lots of dog friends too, but I'm Coug for life, obviously. But how can they help? Can they just go to a website to contribute? Or, I mean, or if they have something they want to donate to your auction, is that something possible? Or
yeah, so on the Heather Janikowski Foundation page, there's a donation page. You can donate there. We also have sponsorship forms that we're sending out, and digital forms as well that I'll be posting onto my Twitter, just Dean Janikowski on Twitter, and you can donate there. And that's the best way. And it's all 501c3, so I don't touch any of the money, and it goes straight to our bank account, strictly set up for the foundation.
okay. Oh,
And that website is, it looks like, I mean, it just, wow, okay, fancy. It's hj.foundation. Really?
Yep.
Okay. There's no .com. That's new for me. Okay. Something you're probably familiar with your digital degree.
Yeah, right.
More than me. So I'm a little more curious about when you say you're helping out kids in the community, and that's wonderful. Obviously, I that's great. This is wonderful to hear. I'm just curious as to what how do you connect with the kids? How do you find people in need, and how do you help them? And where does that connection be made?
So it really is word of mouth, because I want to hear everyone's story, and I want to hear who needs the help, because obviously there's going to be scammers out there, and there's going to be people saying they need this. So it would be word of mouth, and it'd be talking to that family and getting to know them. And we've been through it with our other 5K. Like, we recently donated 15K to a kid that's dealing with cancer, and we met them through church, and we met their family, and we did a lot of things with them. So we knew it was going to a good place, and that it was going to cancer and going to help them. So really just word of mouth. And we're looking for a person now for this event. So the earlier we find a kid, the better.
All right. Do you have a long-term like goal or amount or vision for the foundation?
Yeah, every single year we want to do it, so we want to make it annual. And really there's no limit to it. Like, I don't have a strict limit. We have a goal. We want to hit 50K. I think that's something we can do. We already have a lot of donations. We have 26 lanes open to sponsor, and we already have a good 5 or 6 already picked out. So really just there's no limit to it. And on top of that, I forgot to mention that we're donating as well as 25% of it to the Seattle Children's Hospital Cancer Research.
Okay. Awesome.
The one that Ruben Mays works with. So we're also doing that as well.
All right.
Does he how can we get this message to like the fellow alumni and Cougs? I mean, can we share it in groups? Does Ruben Mays know a bunch of former Cougs who can get involved? I mean, this is a big deal in my opinion, and I'd like to get that word out. Yeah,
we're sending out as much as we can. We got flyers. We got it on our billboards at Zeppos. We're like, the more we spread it to, the better. There's going to be a lot of people in town, so it's going to be a big event. It's right while there's a baseball game, as well as everyone coming in for the spring game. So we want it to be as big as possible. We got the whole place rented out, and we're really excited about it.
Does head coach Brian Green from the baseball team know about it?
I believe so, or at least we're going to be in contact with him. We were talking about different sports, like soccer coaches, as well as some of the track guys and a lot of them, because I know they would love to be at it.
So are you okay with me sending him a message saying that he needs to be involved?
Yeah, do it for sure. Send it to everyone. Let everyone know. We're trying to spread the word as fast as we can, because we don't have a whole lot of time.
Will do, for sure. Including we former Wazoo Coug Ryan Leaf is a friend of the show too. I'm gonna send him a message as well.
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
Get that. You got to get that word out, man.
Yeah,
Definitely.
everywhere for sure.
Who are some of your favorite athletes growing up? Did you have someone you modeled your game after, or did you prefer a soccer player was your favorite, or Major League Baseball player? I mean, who are your favorite athletes?
I don't know. I didn't really. Maybe like David Beckham, maybe a soccer guy like that guy. I'm not really huge into like, not idolizing, but I've never really had a huge celebrity, like a celebrity crush or like an athlete that I really looked up to. I really kind of like just doing my own thing. Maybe like Ryan Dungey. I used to ride motocross, so like motocross guys I always looked up to. I kind of like to do all that. So I don't know. Maybe him or like David Beckham.
Okay, motocross. Did you do that for a long time, or?
Yeah, I started riding when I was 2 years old.
Okay.
And started racing, doing all these things, and then got my leg ran over, so I broke my leg. Second grade on Mother's Day, so that was a good day.
Oh,
Perfect timing on that one. So did that, and then I got paused from racing for a while. But yeah, I've been riding my whole life. I love to ride. We have a track back home that I always ride at. I love it. So that's kind of my getaway after football. Like when football is all said and done, that's what I want to do a lot is just ride and hang out, and like that's my favorite thing to do.
Was it your kicking leg or your other leg?
I think when I turned, because I turned right. No, it was my left leg. I turned right,
Okay.
slid out, my leg was out, and then I got ran over and twisted around.
Ooh.
Yeah, it
Ouch.
got me good.
That makes me think, have you ever I've always been curious if there's ever been someone who can cook or can kick goofy footed just as well, like
Yeah.
is there such a thing as a switch kicker,
Yeah, I know there's some people that can do it. I can kick with my left leg, like okay. I wouldn't say maybe in a game. I could probably hit a 45-yarder, maybe 50-yarder with my left foot, but
Wow.
not super consistent. I do that just to mess around with, but yeah.
Would there be any kind of advantage to that? Like, I mean, maybe the wind or the different, like, I don't know, motion of the
No,
ball or something, or
no, I don't think so. I don't think there'd be much of a difference unless you had like some crazy curve with your left foot that you could do or something. I don't know.
just
I do
mess with
know.
the defense's mind. I don't know.
Yeah, line up and they're like, what the heck?
Man, I thought he was a righty. What is he
Yeah.
doing?
What's the longest kick you've made in practice or like in pregame, or obviously with nobody rushing on you, but have you made it from 60 plus yards?
Yeah, 65 has been my longest. I want to shoot to when it gets to summer and I start messing around with it more, 70 yards. I think I could hit that. It's been a while since I really just tried something ridiculously far like that.
Have you played since you've been with Wazoo? Have you played at Colorado? I'm just curious about the Mile High, about the weather.
No, I haven't played at Colorado yet. I know this year we're going to be playing at Colorado, which will be great. That ball will fly really well.
Okay, that'll be fun to watch for sure.
Oh yeah.
When you go out, I've always wondered when you go out and for like kickoff, does the coach tell you kick it out of the end zone, or do you what kind of strategy you want to do that kickoff?
Yeah, he'll tell us what type of kick to hit right before. He also has hand signals. Yeah, get that thing out of here. No, he's got different hand signals. So if he sees a guy with a hole like in between players, he'll tell us to hit it a certain direction, and he'll tell us different things like that. But almost every single time it's out of the end zone is the goal.
When it's out of the end zone, do you ever try to make a field goal?
Well, if you what I mean,
like make it through the uprights just because
I guess if it's like if we get a flag and they move us up 15, then yeah, that'd be
just for the heck of it.
Why not?
Something I always wanted to see people try.
Yeah.
What's it like playing for Coach Dickert?
Oh, it's a blast. He has been great. Ever since he had to step up, ever since Rolo's situation, he's been great. He's been super family based and super close to us. His door's always open. It's been great to just talk with him and hang out. He does a lot of events and things like that. So it's been it's been great having him, especially just having a head coach that has a lot of trust in me. I know Rolo had trust in me, but it's just great to like, he always reminds me, Coach Dickert and things like that. So it's great to have that connection, especially knowing that head coaches don't like when they have to send out the field goal unit. Just him having that confidence and being excited for me to go out there and hit that kick it's really comforting to me, and it gets me excited to hit field goals.
Do you have to reward your offensive line for good blocking?
Yeah, a few times. Yeah, a few times there's been guys where they slip through or whatever, and they get close to hitting me or blocking me, and I'll give them some motivation. I won't say what I said I'll buy them, but I'll give them some motivation. Hey, buddy, I'll buy you the biggest Big Mac possible if you block this guy for me.
They make larger Big Macs than.
I don't know. I'll ask for the biggest one, whatever it takes.
Fair enough.
Right,
don't want to get in NCAA violations there. You gotta keep it small, I guess.
Keep it legal, I guess.
Yeah. Actually that brings me to the next question. How have you seen or have you seen any influence in the change regarding with the name, image and likenesses changes to the NCAA rules? Have you seen any changes around the team, around the culture, around the school?
Yeah, I think it's been positive. I would say it's a lot more positive than it has been negative. I know there's people that get really pissed and really upset, like, this is ruining the sport. These guys are getting selfish. Like, I could see it, but I know the guys that just transferred recently, like, none of them, they're not looking for the bag or they're not looking for money like that. A lot of people get that mixed up and be like, oh, this guy's leaving because he wants to get paid more money or he wants to get this. I don't think that's happening. I think that's very rare. If it's for like the only situation I see something like that is for like a major QB, and it's so rare. But I think it's been great because it teaches you business and it teaches guys how to send emails and how to make money and how to like promote products and things like that. I've learned so much through NIL that I really don't see much of a negative behind it.
Preparing you for the future, business world that you're gonna enter anyway.
Yeah, there's a lot of, especially like time managing and things like that. Like, I've learned with my NIL deals and my experience, like, okay, I'm going to focus on this, or I'm not going to pick up every single deal, and I'm going to start responding to the people that send me deals that I don't want to do. Like, I'm learning these things because that's what I'm going to need to know how to do in the future, especially for someone like me who wants to run their own business.
Okay.
So then that leads to the next question is, what do you see yourself doing 20 years from now, after you're the next Jason Hanson and you finish your career? You can't kick forever, unfortunately.
Yeah.
What do you see, what kind of business do you see yourself running?
I hope to have an electric bike company. I really enjoy that. I like building electric bikes. I have a few and I've built a few.
Wow.
I really like that. I think maybe having like a podcast like this, as well as a few side companies. Ooh, I really want to start my own energy drink company. Ooh. That I love energy drinks, so I would love to have my own energy drink, whether it's got my name and brand on it or something like that. I think I could really change the game with that. But I would say something like that, and just kind of, that's why I like doing these talks, and that's why I like doing these charity events, and just like using my platform to kind of like build my name, because I think as I keep building it, I'm going to be able to have more of these opportunities and kind of grow as a person, as well as grow different businesses, because my dad owns his own business, and it really motivates me to have my own business because I want to be self-employed one day.
All right. Yeah, to remember that if Red Bull or Monster reach out for you on an NIL deal, hey, I want to drink in my own name.
Yeah, one of these days I'm taking over.
Put my face on it.
Nope.
What is your favorite energy drink? Just curious.
Ooh. I don't know. I've gotten healthier. I started to figure out what's good for me and what's bad for me. I have a Monster here that I drank earlier.
Okay.
No sugar, I'm sure.
Yeah, no. Yeah, lots of sugar.
Oh, but I thought you gave up sugar.
Oh, well, my sugar is like ice cream.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right.
Not the stuff that's in stuff. I can't control that. That would be so hard. Everything that's got sugar in it.
Yeah, everything can be prepared. Yeah. But anyway.
Yeah. So maybe Monster. I think or Celsius. But Celsius gets bland. It gets boring. I don't know.
All right.
Pre-game ritual. Do you have a pre-game ritual?
Yeah, pregame ritual. Show up to the field. Get dressed.
That's everybody's
Obviously,
ritual.
I write. Yeah, it's a good start to the
Yeah.
ritual. But yeah, I get there and I write my goals for the game. So I write down 3 goals, and it's like self-projecting. So it'll be like my field goal steps are smooth and consistent. My ball height will be great. I will attack every single opportunity with confidence, and I'll write that on a little note card, flip it over, put money sign, because every time I step on the field, I'm money, and then tuck that into my right sock, tie up my boots, and then head out there.
It's in your kicking legs
Yep.
shoe, basically. Okay.
Yeah, a little note card that sits in there. You can't really notice it, and yeah, it's been a great tool that my mentor Jim Madrid taught me. So I work with him a lot, and that's been great. I really like that. Use that, and then I also write on my hand. I'll write like mom, or I'll write head up for like different kicking things. Like say I need to like stay more upright on my kick. I'm like, okay, oh, there's my notification. I'm gonna do that.
Tell us about your mentor. I'm curious now a little bit. Why is he your mentor?
Yeah, so I met him through my chaplain, Father Paul here, who is the one who has the St. Thomas More Center.
Okay.
And so I met him through that because I really struggled the first game. I ended my first year that I kicked, I was Pac-12 first team, and then I came into this season, had a horrible game. I went 1 for 3 against Idaho, was really down, trying to figure out like, man, what happened? I did so great in fall camp, like I'm all ready. And he sent me to Jim. Jim gave me a call, and this is what he does. He works with Olympic athletes and things like that. And he really opened up my mind and like showed me that I can do so much more. He showed me these exercises, and it really like excited me about my mind, because I know like you've got so much more potential in you, but to actually see it and hear it from a person and get examples, it was crazy. It really opened up like how to approach the game, how to like manipulate my breathing, like chewing gum makes me concentrate more, like little things like that I didn't even realize. So I worked with him the whole season. I still do, and he's been great ever since then. I'm in contact with him all the time, and yeah, I love him. He's great.
You ever consider writing a book one day? Seriously.
Yeah, maybe. I got a lot of crazy stories, so I guess I could write a book. I'd want it to be like Mike Leach's. Mike Leach wrote a lot of good books. I think he did a great job. So something like that, maybe all my crazy stories and then something more serious. So I have 2, but yeah, that'd be cool.
Well, Brian's got you writing your memoirs already. In that regard, one of the questions we always like to ask people, just because it's kind of fun to pick your brain, is in 30 years or something, they make a movie about your life. Who plays you? And you can pick any actor or actress from any timeline. And to date, everyone's been disappointing me and still hasn't taken Steve McQueen.
What has Steve McQueen done?
What has he done?
I told you, Matt.
I don't know him.
You don't even know who they. Oh man, okay.
It's for the older generation.
Man, I'm old. Apparently I'm really, really old now. Yeah. Anyway, any actor you want from any time, who would play you in a movie about your life?
That'd be so hard to pick. I feel like maybe just Adam Sandler, because it'd be funny, but I don't know if it'd really be like that accurate. But
I was going to suggest this may be out of line, but for your look and your general manner, I was going to say Owen Wilson.
That would be a good one. That's probably more accurate. You'd probably know more. I don't know a whole lot on actors and all their names and stuff like that. So Owen Wilson. I'll keep that in my back pocket for when they make a movie.
Okay. Do you have any favorite sports movie of any kind? Any sport?
I really like Creed 3 that I just watched. Okay. That was really good. I thought they did a great job with that.
I'm forgetting the actor's name, but he's brilliant. I love him.
Michael Jordan.
Is it Michael Jordan?
Michael B. Jordan. Yeah.
Michael B. Jordan. Yeah. He's brilliant. Yeah. Okay. We are nearing that time now where we like to sum things up. But first, I want to give you a chance one more time to sum up for our guests where they can find the foundation, where they can find you, how they can help. Give yourself a plug and a shout out as far as all the information here that they need to know.
So hj.foundation or Heather Janikowski Foundation.com. That's where you can donate. We're a 501c3, tax refundable, and we have an event April 21st at Zeppos right before the spring game. So if you're in town, come out, come sponsor a lane, come to the silent auction, kind of all that. We're gonna have a huge event, and it's all going to a kid with cancer. And you can also find that stuff on all my social medias, just dean.janikowski, not related to Janikowski, but dean.janikowski. And
no, but you're related to Heather, so that right?
Related to her.
Yeah. Okay.
So you can go there, and you can also DM me for a spot, and it's going to be a huge event, and we're going to keep doing this every single year, as well as this upcoming season. I'll be doing the same thing where I raise money every single time I go to kick a field goal. You can donate money, and we're going to raise money for kids with cancer and help out the Pullman community.
And keep an eye out for a little note card stuck in the kicking foot.
Yeah,
that you look closely when he kicks on national TV.
Yep.
So now what we like to do, we like to end every show with a bit of a shout out, personal message, personal shout out to a friend, family member, someone in your life that's special that you just want to give a word of encouragement or a shout, congratulations to. We'll start with Brian, and go ahead.
I'm going to give a shout out to the Wazoo women's basketball team for winning the Pac-12 tourney last Sunday, and they're headed off to the big dance. I mean, first time in years that they've won something like this, and I mean, it just brought that warm feeling in my heart watching them celebrate after the game. I mean, they're going to be fun to watch, and I think they're going to go a long way. So go Cougs!
You have a shout out there, Dean?
Yeah, I would shout. Well, you actually took mine. Women's basketball team. That's great. But right. I would say my dad, he stepped up a lot, really helping my brother at least get to WSU, doing all his registration, things like that. It's been really hard for him, and being able to step up and just be really helpful around the house. So I would say my dad, as well as the football team, I think we're really working hard. I see all the boys out there every single day, and just preparing, because we're going to beat Oregon this year.
Absolutely. Amen. And Wisconsin again too. I can't wait for that.
Yeah, home.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, and mine's not necessarily I guess as positive. I just want to send a positive a message to there's a family friend of mine who's experiencing some health issues, and she's going into the hospital probably tomorrow for some surgery. So I just want to put out some good thoughts and hope everything goes well. It should go well. There's not a major operation or anything, but it's just wanted to know that I have her in my thoughts. And with that, I want to say thanks for listening to the Seattle Sports Union podcast, everyone. This has been a lot of fun talking to Dean Janikowski, Placekicker for the Washington State University Cougars. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us at SeattleSportsUnion.com. You can find us on Captivate, iTunes, Spotify, etc. We have Seattle Sports Union on Twitter. And look forward to seeing us soon on. We have an deal with Ocean Shores Television pretty soon. It's 11 a.m. on Saturday mornings. So with that, I will say, and as much as this hurts me to say, go Cougs!
Go Cougs!